My people, today I bring a message of truth, of justice, and of hope. The case of nnamdi Kanu has taken a dramatic turn on the global stage. That the former governor of Ebonyi State and the current Minister of Works, Senator Dev Umahi, said that Nigeria is open for negotiation, that the federal government is open for negotiation over the release of nnamdi Kanu. In his words, he said that this is not intended for political gains or to gain more political votes during the national election or presidential election 2027. Meanwhile, I want you to understand clearly what is really playing out, what is playing behind the scene that is making the drum to be beaten. I want you to understand that when a snake swallows something that it cannot swallow, it hooks you here. When you swallow bone that cannot pass your throat, it hooks you here. You need desperate measure to be able to remove the bone here. Don't forget, Nigeria government said they do not negotiate with terrorists, having IPOB and nnamdi Kanu in mind, because they have been negotiating with other people that are well-known terrorist organizations in Nigeria. So today, they are saying they are open for negotiation over the release of nnamdi Kanu. Why? Ask yourself that question. Why? I want you to draw closer to understand clearly what is happening. If you don't have data, get some data. So after the Kenyan High Court ruled that nnamdi Kanu's abduction by Nigerian agents on their soil was illegal, 5 major international organizations stepped into the matter. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, the International Commission of Jurists, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, and the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. They are now watching. They are now investigating Nigeria's involvement, Nigerians' conduct. Why? Because what happened in Kenya, what happened to nnamdi Kanu in Kenya was not extradition. It was what international law calls extraordinary rendition, an illegal forced transfer of person without due process. Pay attention. A breach of both Kenya and international law, which Nigeria is also a signatory to. Nigeria is a signatory to international law. Let me be clear. Kenya court declared that Kanu's removal violates his right. Nigeria was never given lawful permission to take him. So on what legal basis was he abducted and detained in the DSS custody for over 2 years? That's the question you should ask yourself. Because the Kenya government denied giving them permission to do such. They did it on their own. It was their own choice to extraordinarily, to forcefully take him back to Nigeria. Justice delayed is justice denied. Even when Nigeria's own court of appeal discharged him in 2022, what did the government do? They refused to release him. They ignored court orders. They manipulated the system. And now the world is watching. What we are seeing is the collapse of the doctrine of stare decisis, the principle that court decisions must be respected. The judiciary is under pressure and the executive is pulling the strings. But there is hope. The involvement of international bodies means this case can no longer be hidden behind closed doors. Nigeria must now explain to the world why they chose brute force over legal process. I must tell you, this case is not just about Biafra or IPOB anymore. It is about justice for all Nigerians, north, east, and west. It is a fight against impunity, a fight for rule of law, because if it can happen to one, it can happen to all. Let me end with this. The law is not a weapon in the hands of the powerful. The law is the last hope of the common man. nnamdi Kanu's case has now become a mirror, reflecting everything that is wrong, but also reflecting those things that can be changed, that can still be changed in the Nigerian system. Let us raise our voice. Let us demand justice, not just for Kanu, but for all who have been silenced, ignored, and oppressed by a broken system. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. A nation that cannot respect its own laws has no moral right to judge its own citizens. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to share the video for other people to see it. Let us keep on hoping for the best. In this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you speaking up today, you are not speaking necessarily because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are speaking because of tomorrow. That no one knows what can happen tomorrow. Sharp.